fun match here. BWG and Uno, both very talented drivers. So there is something unique. They are playing on different systems, so there is going to be a conversion in this match. BWG is playing on PAL. Uno is playing. Uno is playing on NTSC, so there will be a conversion rate. BWG is the higher ranked player here. All right, Uno with the first pick here is gonna be Luigi Raceway. All right, let's get going. BWG versus Uno. This is a best of 7 set. This is gonna be an extended match. Uno's screen is going to go a little bit faster because Uno is playing on NTSC. PAL is going to go a bit slower because BWG is playing on PAL. So there will be a conversion rate, which makes this a little bit more difficult to watch in terms of who is ahead. But we'll see who's making mistakes. No one's really making any mistakes early on Luigi Raceway. Uno is going to go ahead and try to get the bonk there. Just a one shroom. Looks like BWG is just going to go all 3 shrooms on the first lap, and he's done. With a 38.93. Pretty good time for PAL. Uno does still have 2 mushrooms. Again, a little more challenging to compare, but the big mistakes are going to be the big things. Uno's going to do that 1-2-0 mushroom strat. 32.70. That's pretty good on 2 shrooms. So far, no obvious mistakes by either driver. Again, we're going to have to apply conversion rate, so this will be this could take things a little bit longer. This is interesting because this is a best of 7. This is the full length. So we've got 140.48, which is equivalent to a 20082 for Uno. So let's see how this ends up for BWG. Nice time by Uno there. Uno's gonna take nice shot by Uno with the track win there. BWG says, let's stay at the raceway. We're heading to Mario Raceway. Again, there's going to be a conversion rate on every single track, which will make things a little interesting, but we'll make it work. Uno with the start there. Uno with a bad collision there with the shroom. BWG is going to go ahead and play it safe all the way around. So far, BWG likely has a slight lead. 27 seconds for Uno there. BWG with a nice 31-35 on PAL. Uno with another unfortunate spin out there. BWG making his way around again. He's going to play it safe one more time. Ooh, Uno with a bonk on the wall there. Still about the same lap time as before. Uno does make it through safely this time. That's going to be a cut in time. BWG is just going to play it safe on every single lap, which is probably going to be enough here, given the collisions before. That's a 135.43 converted. So, so it's all tied up 1-1 in the first set. BWG is the slightly faster driver. Granted, he is playing on the slightly slower version, which is helping him out a little bit with the... having a little bit of more time helps. Next up, Chaco Mountain. So we got to do conversions on every track. Chaco Mountain, the big... there's a big thing here. One thing is, one, not hitting the boulder, and two, really just not bonking any walls. Any bonk is going to cost time, particularly at the end of the lap. So far, pretty good driving for both of them. Both of them with very slight bonks that don't, that just slightly cost them a little bit of time. Otherwise, both of them are taking turns pretty tightly. That was a nice shroom by Uno there, very close to the line. This is going to be close. This could go either way. Oh, Uno lost a bit of time there. So looking at the converted time here, the convert time is going to be 2:00:40 or 42 converted. So that's the time we're looking at, 2:00:42. Very close, it looks like. Uno is going to take this after a bit of a slowdown. 1:40.15. I mean, that was a nice time. We are heading to Toad's Turnpike as the next track. That's BWG's pick. Big thing is not hitting a truck. I mean, more than anything else is not hitting a truck. And there were some gaps, especially at the end of lap 3, for example, where hitting a truck could cost you, even on NTC, it could cost you 3 seconds. Could be like 4 on PAL. You don't crash into a truck when you're trying to get as many mini turbos in as possible. Trying to get those gaps in between trucks to get mini turbos in. BWG having a pretty nice shroom there, running it very close to the line. A lot of this track is really those little, doing mini turbos as quickly as possible on straightaways, but also getting as close on these turns, because these turns are not 90-degree turns. Like BWG with another nice shroom. He's already used 2 shrooms pretty early on. Uno still has his 3. He does slightly bonk the wall there. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. Both of them otherwise getting in their straight stretch mini turbos. A necessity, especially on those long stretches at the beginning and the middle of the track. Uno with his first shroom out. He still has his remaining ones. He's used up his second. Nicely done. Ending that shroom slide on a straightaway. And then he's using one more. And all shrooms are out now. Oh, and Uno runs into that bust. That's going to be costly for him. BWG in the lead. There's still time though. Lap 3 traffic tends to be pretty tough at the end, especially of lap 3. Otherwise, BWG's been driving pretty well. No crashes. It's not over yet for Uno because BWG could still make a mistake. Uno trying to hug it really close on the line there as he heads into the end of lap 3. Big moment here. Uno's gonna clear the traffic at the end. 2:36.51, which converted is a 3:08.19. Big moment here, BWG. How's he gonna do? This is tough traffic. He was driving fast enough, he's gonna cut through, and he's gonna take a pretty solid win here. 3:03.76. It's now 2-2. Uno with the next pick. These are best of 7. They wanted an exciting match here, so they're going to go the length of the old format. The old format was best of 7. He wanted to go best of 7 sets as well, so this is going to be a longer match. FS is on. Uno running slightly ahead in terms of our frames here. Not that really matters because they're playing on different systems. Off to some good driving so far. Uno does take it a little more left through the snowfield than I expected. He does avoid the snowman, which is good. BWG hangs a little further to the right. Neither of them have the perfect shroom slide, but it's hard to do because you have to slide that in between the 2 snowmen on the left. Uno avoids the snowman, which must be a relief for him. Nice clear by Uno through the snowfield. You always risk hitting a snowman or like hitting the side there and losing some time, and managed to avoid that. BWG hangs it a bit further to the left, but still safe. Uno onto his final lap on NTSC, BWG on his second lap on PAL. We are now on lap 3 for BWG. Uno's at the end here. He didn't really make any significant mistakes, so it's going to be down to how the driving goes the rest of the way for BWG. A 1:44.31, which converted is a 2:05.42. A 2:05.42, 2:05.62. Very, very close. Uno with the win. BWG needs to pick up 2 straight to win the set. That was very close. Both of them drove pretty consistently for the most part. BWG ran a pretty good lap 3, but it wasn't enough. BWG with a pick. He says, let's risk it a little bit. We're gonna go with Koopa Troopa Beach Fast Lap. Obviously the big thing is how well do they make the jump, but it's also a matter of shroom spots, because normally you don't go lap 1 on Koopa Troopa Beach Fast Lap. Where are you going to place that extra shroom on lap 1 when your starting shroom is where your shroom's going to be? Uno cuts it pretty nicely on that shroom spot. Let's see how BWG's going to do this. Both of them do a nice job. BWG and Uno both missed the jump. This is going to get interesting. Who's going to come back and win this? Let's risk it a bit. Uno makes the backup after a little while. Might be a little too much time though. BWG is going to go ahead and finish. Really in less time than Uno is going to finish. With the 47.35, which is converted 56.93. All right, we're tied 3-3. Exciting, thrilling match so far. Both of them are tied 3-3. We've got a good match going. We've got Uno going with Banshee Boardwalk. BWG's like, good pick for you. Okay, they're both ready. We've got a tiebreaker to end the first set. Banshee Boardwalk. This haunted track. Don't fall off. Nothing else to say about it. some of the fastest ways across the track involve hopping. You've already seen Uno and BWG doing a few of the hops. One of the bigger hops is inside the haunted house. That was a nice MT by Uno going in the shroom slide. Riskier than normally what I would do, but very well played. BWG is going to save his shroom until later. Uno took the earlier shroom spot, which is slightly better, but can be easier to miss. Nice 3603 by Uno. Let's see, BWG is going to hang out at the 4381. I think Uno is slightly ahead after that first lap. Uno with another nice shroom there. Very impressive. BWG still saving his shrooms for the final turn, which is the safer strategy. Final lap for Uno. No major mistakes by either driver at this point. It's just a matter of who's going to drive a bit better. Uno with another nice shroom. He's just going to cut it close through the haunted house. Meanwhile, BWG is just getting his usual MTs in. Uno with a very nice time of 1:48.91. Impressive stuff. That's a 2:10.95 on PAL. We've got BWG to wrap this up now. This is gonna be close, but I think Uno has the edge here. BWG has to make up some ground. I don't know that he's gonna make it up here. It's good. Yeah, he did not make it up in time. 2:11.82. That's set 1, 4-3. Uno with the first set. BWG says, time to suffer. Moo, moo, farm. Uno up 1-0 in sets. Here we go. Moo, moo, farm. Let's go. Shortest track in the game. Many moles. That's all based on RNG. This is a good track generally for BWG. He's very good at Moo Moo Farm, but we'll see. The unique thing about Moo Moo Farm, besides the RNG, is it's just very hilly. So you have to take the hop. Sometimes if you use the R button to drift, to do the mini turbo, you'll do it in a way that is a little it'll just eat up your mini turbo. So, BWG, BWG probably has a slight lead. I know we have to do the conversion here, but I think he has a very slight lead. The shroom spot was a little better on lap 1 than what Uno had. Uno's been playing a safe shroom, but that was a nice lap though, 24.81 by Uno. Meanwhile, BWG plays kind of a, I think, is a slightly better shroom spot. But Uno had a very nice lap. So this is anyone's game right now. Again, Uno plays a safer shroom. He's going to wrap it up at a 1:15.61, a very good time. A 1:30.91 converted. This could go either way. This is going to be really close. And it is going to be Uno taking it with really quite an impressive lap 2 and 3. He played it the safer way, but he just cut a little better. Very well played. That lap 2 is the difference right there. You can kind of see it. So Uno up 1-0. Uno took a BWG pick. Wario Stadium is going to be the next pick for Uno. Wario Stadium is the longest track in one try, generally at this point. Rainbow Road is even longer. And the way they've decided to do the rules is if either player picks Rainbow Road, we are doing the whole thing. We're doing all 3 laps. So we'll see if that actually happens, because one of them is playing on PAL. It's going to be the longest. Big thing here, the ideal mushroom spot is using a mushroom through on a hill section, which could result in a bonk. I am expecting them to play it. Uno is going to play the first shroom here. Well played, pretty close. Because if you play it a little wide, you could actually not get the full efficiency out of that mushroom. BWG just uses it without the slide, so that's going to cost him a little bit compared to what Uno did. Nice drifts through that section by Uno. It's easy to, it doesn't look necessarily that hard, but like when I try to play that section, it's like, it can be easy to just hit a piece of the wall on that. So it's actually very impressive what Uno's doing here. I don't know what happened to BWG's stream here. It seems to be on pause for whatever reason. We'll see what happens. But Uno is at a 1:15.19, which is a very good lap. Let's see what's going on. Maybe just a weird loading situation. I'm going to see if I can reload BWG stream. In the meantime, Uno, maybe his stream went down during. I'm going to take a look. BWG stream seems to have gone down, but we will... Oh, it's back. Guess it just went down momentarily. Let's see where we're at. I'm gonna have to gauge the laps once BWG's done here. BWG's just doing a very safe shroom over that hill rather than doing it with the slide. There are risks with doing it with the slide, because if you crash once, that's gonna cost you like 3 seconds on PAL. Almost 3 seconds. Uno, some pretty impressive driving, honestly. 115s on every lap. He's been playing quite consistently today, for the most part, outside of the Mario Raceway shrooms. No bonks by Uno. We couldn't really see what BWG was doing on those. But again, another solid shroom slide by Uno. BWG at a 1:30.94. That's... So that lap was pretty similar to Uno's, but I think Uno was a little bit faster on lap 2. Uno is just driving lights out on many of these tracks today. Very impressive. This is a great time by Uno. A 3:45.38. Very impressive. 4:31 time. BWG probably needs to catch up a little bit on this track as well. He does have time to do that, although BWG is also driving pretty well. I think Uno is cutting it a little better, for example, like on that jump. Here we go. Yep. Uno's going to take the win here on this track. 434, 43. Calamari Desert is the next pick. That is BWG. Some just great driving by Uno today. We'll see. Calamari Desert. I think that is potential for BWG to take it. Big thing is... Okay. It seemed like lap 1 was played pretty well by both sides. Let's see how they use the shrooms here. Uno is just going to do one shroom here. This is going to be interesting. BWG is going to use a second here. So Uno must feel pretty confident about being able to make it with just one. He has been cutting it very close to the train tracks. BWG using more of a strategy I might use in this. So Uno, this is very interesting. I'm very interested in seeing what Uno tries to do here. Uno's going to wait on the train. Meanwhile, BWG's looking to beat the train with the second mushroom. So Uno's going to go with his second shroom here. A 1-1-1 strat by Uno. I'm intrigued by this. Pretty consistent lap there by Uno. Of course, with the 1-1-1. I've just not really seen that pattern before, so it's really intriguing. BWG with a decent lap for lap 2. So he's going to wait until this train goes and then use a mushroom. BWG timed that very well, just behind that train, so this could be pretty close. This is going to be close. Nicely played for BWG getting in ahead of them. A 151.15, which is going to be a 213.65. I think BWG should take this one. We have Rainbow Road as the next pick. This is going to be a very long track. Alright, Rainbow Road, the longest track in the game. Someone could probably take a nap during it, but we know the drivers will not be taking a nap during Rainbow Road. Let's go. Alright, we are 1 minute in. Rainbow Road's gonna run like 5 minutes on NTSC and like 6 on PAL, so Uno with the first shroom in probably the best shroom spot in the game. You just have to make sure you don't bonk too hard and be off. BWG's, again, just going to play it safe on that one. Just going to shroom straight. Uno took the slide. It seemed like he did fine on the slide. This is all about getting as many mini turbos in as quickly as possible. Chain chomps are probably going to play a role in this. If anyone hits a chain chomp, they're probably going to struggle a little bit. 201.78 for BWG. And this is a really unique Rainbow Road track in Mario Kart. One thing, it is the longest track in Mario Kart, the whole series. A lot of Mario Kart games have tracks that are not so different in length. Because a lap on Rainbow Road is longer than the entire track for Moo Moo Farm and Mario Raceway. But this is also a Rainbow Road where it's not so easy to fall off because of all the guardrails. You can still fall off, you can get, in multiplayer you can still get shelled off and it's going to cost you 15 seconds. Unless you fall off at the beginning with that big jump, you're not really going to fall off this track. But if you run into the wall, well, really the fencing, you could still lose time and the chain chomps will cost you. This makes the Rainbow Road a little easier than in other Rainbow Roads. 141.25 for Uno. Pretty good time on a one shroom, so he's off, driving pretty well. Both of them are just trying to get mini turbos in as quickly as possible here. No chain chomp crashes, both of them excellent at getting away from them. Another 201.38 by BWG. This could get close. BWG not quite getting the trans style there, but pretty close. Uno just hugging the line as closely as he can. BWG trying to do the same. Another shroom slide by Uno. Uno's just like using his normal strategies here. Like I noticed BWG, we've noticed BWG played a little safer with shrooms than Uno for the most part. And Uno's converting. There's a calculation of risk there. Uno actually running so close to the fence that he hits it there. BWG still has his last shroom. Nice time by Uno. 5:02.78, which converted is a 6:04.06. Again, Uno in a good spot here. BWG's got to make up some time, I think. Oh, and the chain chomp hit for BWG. I think Uno's got this one to take a 3-1 lead. A really unfortunate hit there. BWG is trying to make up time. I don't think he's going to get there here. After that hit, he might have gotten it if he didn't have that chain chomp hit. It would have been a lot closer. But because of that hit, 608-10. Yeah. Uno's up 3-1 in the second set. Uno is up 3-1 in tracks. Uno's been playing very well. BWG's, playing as one would expect for one trial, but Uno is just on top of things today. Like, he's just on. We are going to DK's Jungle Parkway. There are a few spots where someone could lose time. The big one is if they go and take it too risky on the jump. And the second one is really taking the cave a little too close. Because those are the time saves, the biggest two. But there are also places where someone could take a wrong turn. Oh, this is interesting. BWG goes for a really nice jump, but then he bonks the side there, so that may have cost him the advantage that he just took. Because otherwise, that was a really nice jump. Both of them do the early shroom rather than the cave shroom. Ooh, Uno barely makes it in, but he does keep it in at 39.45. BWG takes a more cautious route. Uno with the lead in lap 1. Uno with a decent jump there. Makes it over. Shrooms. BWG lands a clean jump there and mushroom spot. Uno with the cave climb here, and it's a little safer than last time. Still a good time, 39.26. Uno, well, let's see what BWG time comes back as. So Uno with the lead, heading into lap 3. Another decent jump and shroom. Not perfect, but pretty good. BWG is going to try to make up some ground with a good jump. He does make the jump. Uno is just playing very well today. Safe one there, 158.23. Which converted is a 2:22.16, so that's gonna do it. That's the set. BWG with a 2:24.42, which is not bad. Uno is just playing his lights out today with a 4-1 advantage. Amazingly played. Uno is up 2-0. BWG says, are you on speed today? Uno says, I warmed up playing some techno. And I said, I'll keep that in mind next time I lose to you in 1 tries. Alright, Mario Raceway pick by BWG. Uno up 2-0 in sets. Because BWG's playing how you would expect for 1 tries, but I get how that goes though. Sometimes you're just in the moment. Ooh, Uno with a nice hop through the, through the shroom gap. So Uno looks to have the early lead here after a nice conversion on the mushroom gap. Uno's going to play this safely this time. BWG still going to play it safely. Uno had played it safely. Uno on to lap 3. He's just going to play it safe here. Good lap by BWG, but he's a bit behind after Uno with that nice mushroom gap conversion on lap 1. A 1:17.01 as Uno continues to drive very well. BWG comes in with a pretty decent time too, but oh, it is actually very close. A 1:32.68. Look, that was actually closer than I thought it was going to be. That bonk at the end, because BWG was actually playing a good pace. Uno lap 2 was a bit slower, so looks like BWG was a bit faster on lap 2, which had him catch up. It can be hard to tell sometimes with NTSC versus PAL, but Uno does come up with a very, very close win there. It's a tough loss for BWG. Really a very quick time by BWG, considering he didn't take any mushroom gaps. Royal Raceway is next. Here we go, that's Uno's pick. Nice starts. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and put their ranks next to here. These two players are very closely ranked in time trials. Very close. 205 BWG, 212 Uno. Uno does play on NTSC. BWG has both systems. 48.72 by Uno. So Uno with the early lead here. Actually, yeah, that sounds right. I believe he has the early lead. With Uno just kind of playing out of his mind today. Very impressive stuff. A lot of consistency in how Uno is playing. BWG still playing pretty well, making SSMTs. Lap 3 NTSC for Uno. BWG wrapping up his final, or his second lap. 59.19 is a solid time. But Uno has been running even faster than that. Not by a lot, but still faster. Both driving still very well. No obvious, no major mistakes, really. It's just a matter of doing a mini turtle slightly faster, taking a turn a little closer. Uno with a 226.55. Impressive. 256.21. That is a tough. That's tough. That's just very impressive driving today. Another win for Uno, 257.38. BWG isn't even slow today. Like, he's not slow. Uno's just has a mind like, I'm going to win this. Uno's just on a new level today because BWG's not playing badly. This is really some incredible driving by Uno today. He said it was nearly a PR. He loves his track, nearly a PR. He had missed an MT. BWG says, he's been going quickly too. Uno says, I'm going for it, mostly paying off. Except Cooper Beach. Incredible play. We are witnessing some incredible one-try play today. BWG says, Koopa Troopa Beach. Let's add some uncertainty to the mix. Obviously, the big thing is hitting the jumps. If you miss a jump, you're in trouble. We're off. We're off to a good start. Both drivers driving fairly evenly here. No real... They even made the same slight mistake of slightly being on the side of the ramp there. Both of them do make their jump. Nice room by Uno. BWG does get it a little bit off. 27.52 by Uno. Very nice time. 33.74. Both of them running it pretty close here. Uno does make the second jump. $27.49 over for Uno. Just driving very consistently. BWG has had pretty good laps as well. I think that lap being slightly slower, I think Uno is very, very slightly ahead in the lap 3, but very close. Uno with an incredible time of 1:22.91, which is a 1:39.69 converted. BWG missed the lap, so that's going to be missing that jump. That's going to be it. 1:39.69.4. BWG actually was still within the hunt. He was a little slower, but that jump is going to be it. It was not quite on pace, but Uno with a time that's just enviable. 122.91 on a one try. Uno is up 3-0 in the set. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, this is Uno rising up to the challenge today. Because again, other than that miss, yeah, there's some misses from BWG, but these are not bad times by BWG. Bowser's Castle for Uno. He's like, let's just go for it. Let's go for all the tough tracks. Let's do the ramps. Let's do the mushroom gaps. Bowser's Castle. BWG, remember, is still a good player. He can still do damage here. He did hit the bush, but again, the thwomps are going to be a big thing. Uno's already hit off a thwomp, which is going to cost him slightly. He didn't spin out. He did avoid the spin out. Nice stair sequence by Uno. Pretty good for BWG as well. Uno opens with a 39.00, which is equivalent to a 46.89, which is basically the exact same time BWG had in lap 1, so we're tied up after lap 1. Very close here. Uno does hit the wall. Oh, BWG with a spin out with the thwomp. That's going to put Uno ahead. Uno with another pretty good time, 38.92. Some slight bonks, but nothing that has hurt him significantly. He does get past the first lumps. BWG's wrapping up his second lap on PAL, but he is now probably about 2-3 seconds behind, maybe, on PAL. Uno, just a madman on a mission. I don't know what else to say. Just very impressive driving. 156.35. That's a 219.90 despite getting the hitting the thwomp message of race data cannot be saved. Absolutely insane play today. Because 222.85 is, again, a pretty good time. But Uno with the sweep. I don't know what Uno is doing, what kind of techno. I think we need to figure out what tracks he listens to before one-try matches, because it's calmed him down. He's just on a roll. I don't know what else to say. Uno up 3-0. This is 4 sets. So we do have one more set because of how they wanted to play 4 sets. BWG needs to come up with some wins. He's very capable of doing so. In a series against me back in an earlier one-try league, he came back from being down 3-1 in sets. He's certainly capable of driving well. He's got some picks that would be very good for him. He's going to go ahead and pick one of those potentially in Calamari Desert. It did go well for him before. He's going to pick it again. Here we go, Calamari Desert. Uno had bonked on the mountain before. Let's see how he takes it this time. Both of them played pretty well. Certainly shroomed it better than I would in that stretch. Ooh, Uno almost made it onto the train tracks. Very close there. Okay, now Uno does go for the 2-1, presumably the 2-1-0 shroom strat. BWG does that too. So not perfect this time for Uno, but better than his previous attempt here. A 41.63, so after lap 1, BWG is slightly ahead of Uno. Uno with the shroom at the best spot. BWG is going to do the same thing. Very nice cut by BWG there. Very close to the train tracks. BWG doing a pretty good job this time. BWG is slightly ahead. He's probably ahead by about 0.3 of a second on PAL. This is very close. We'll see how this goes. Because right now, BWG has the slight lead. Let's see if he converts on it. BWG with a very close win there by very, very close. 0.18 of a second. BWG with a nice track win. He knew he needed to win. He picked the track he needed. BWG has been driving well, but Uno has been too. Uno picking Banshee Boardwalk. They're both raring to go, picking the track Banshee Boardwalk. Let's go. The dunk in the lake is the costly thing. Obviously, it could cost 8 seconds just on NTSC. But otherwise, it is going to be how close you cut and how close you do the mushroom spots, because what we saw last time was the two drivers had a slightly different spot. BWG using a later shroom spot than Uno. Uno makes it through. Both of them basically using otherwise the same kind of mini turbo spots for the most part. A 36.04 on lap 1 here for Uno, which converted is a 43.33. So Uno is ahead by 0.4 of a second on PAL with conversion. BWG got a little close to the side there, but he does stay on. A 95-96. Just the consistency from Uno today has just been really spectacular to watch. All right, Uno with the lead here in the last lap. Just driving, you know, with that slightly extra consistency, not really hitting walls. It's going to go ahead and finish with a very nice time of 1:47.89. Again, an amazing time. Converted is a 2:09.73. Again, BWG's been driving well too. It's just the out of his mind driving from Uno continues as Uno takes another. I would take a lot of BWG's times in one tries right now. Uno is just, I'm very impressed. This is running very good times. Moo Farm, BWG, tends to do pretty well on this track. It's one of his best tracks. Going back to the farm. One of the shortest tracks in the game. All the slopes. It's like a lot of learning this track is just learning the slopes and not like where your mini turbos don't get eaten up. Oh, Uno with an early crash, hitting off the fence there. BWG, oh, also hits one of the moles. We've got an interesting race here. So BWG, despite that crash, actually crashed slightly better and has a lead heading into lap 2, but it's not a big lead, it's a really small lead. Uno with a second crash. The moles are out today, and they're going after Uno. BWG plays it safe. BWG is going to take the lead here, going into lap 3. Very nice lap by BWG. He is up probably by about 2 or 3 seconds. Uno's going to play this. He's just going to play it through the moles this time. He needs it. He gets a time of 1:19.06, which converted is a 1:35.06. But the mole lands BWG off the track. I think that's actually going to give BWG, it's going to give Uno the win here in a surprising result. Because BWG had the lead, and then he just got knocked off the track. That's very, very unfortunate. That's the worst possible scenario you'd get from Moo Farm, I feel, for BWG on that track. Really unfortunate, because generally the RNG is not going to take you out like that. That is tough. Uno comes back by virtue of not getting out of bounds on the mole hit, and he takes the win. 2-1 in sets. Uno, definitely an unlucky bounce. BWG's pissed. We're heading to Sherbet Land with Uno making that pick. Uno's shown some vulnerability though on the last track, even though BWG had an unlucky hit, so we'll see. A lot of this with Sherbet Land is how do you take the jumps on the gaps? How do you use the shrooms? How do you get through the penguin areas? Uno gets past the first penguin on the shroom slide, and so does BWG. Uno takes it a little further left than I expected, but it ends with a 69 there. So BWG does lead heading into lap 2. Oh, but BWG takes a dunk in the lake, and meanwhile Uno makes it through the cave section without a scratch from a penguin. Uno with the lead. Uno going back to... Oh, and BWG misses the tunnel entrance. Uno with a nice lead heading into lap 3. Uno does hit the penguin, but the mushroom ends up canceling it out, and he does spin out here, giving BWG a very slight chance here. Uno's still with the lead after the penguin hit. Uno is going to play it safe enough. A 147.42 after the penguin hit. 209.16 converted. So here, it is championship point for Uno. BWG gets the pick. The thing is, BWG actually had some pretty good laps on lap 1 and 3, but that dunk in the water is just gonna hurt you on this track. Uno up 3-0 in sets. He needs one more track in the next 3 attempts to win, and he would become the division champion. Important pick for BWG here. He's going to pick one of his favorite tracks in DK's Jungle Parkway. Speaking of jumps, Uno says. One of the biggest jumps of all, DK's Jungle Parkway. You've got a big jump on Wario Stadium. You've got a big jump on Royal Raceway. But the real jump that you can really gain or lose ground on is DK's Jungle Parkway. Both take the inner path on the way up to the ramp. A more aggressive jump by BWG makes it. Nice jump by BWG. Well played. Both of them use the shroom after the jump. BWG with the lead early. Next big part is how they take the cave. Uno takes a safe path up the cave. BWG takes a safe path up the cave. I think, I didn't check exactly what Uno's time is, but I think BWG is slightly ahead. Safe jump by Uno. In fact, maybe a little too safe on the ahead of the shroom, compared to BWG, who's really taking the risks here. He needs to take the risk, and it's paying off so far. Otherwise, good driving. It's just a matter of how much risk is being taken by both drivers. Uno takes the safe cave up. BWG, another good lap. He's ahead of Uno, heading into the final. The shroom spot, the jump and shroom spot by BWG has been better up to this point. BWG with the final jump, and he barely makes it, but he does make it, and another very nice jump by BWG. Uno cuts it closer to try to make up a little bit of ground, gets a 158.95. If BWG's driving holds, I think he's going to take this track. Got to drive the best he can. And it is going to hold. 221. Nicely done by BWG. It's those marginal things that BWG did on that track. Very impressive. All amazing jumps and shrooms. So, Uno up 3-2 in set 4. About 46.80 from BWG. What an amazing lap. He needed good driving. It came. Like, it was great. Wario Stadium is Uno's pick. Again, Uno still has championship point on BWG. We're going to pick one of the longest tracks in the game. I think the count was, what was it, 119 faces for Wario on this track? I think that's what it was. For the Mario Kart 64 World Cup I did, I think it was 2 years ago, one of the trivia questions was how many faces? So you have to like figure out how many faces there were of Wario. I think it was 119. I'm not even 100% sure now. Nice drift by Uno through a pretty tough stretch. BWG also lands that without any crash. Uno, the shroom. It's an okay shroom slide there by him. BWG is going to play it risky, and no, he almost crashes. Are there matches like this for shortcut? No, not under the current rules. However, every player can choose a shortcut joker pick, so you can pick shortcut tracks once per match. Because this is a 7-set match, both players can actually do 2 shortcut jokers, but we have not seen any shortcut picks by either player. Uno, still fairly consistent, but not quite as consistent as his laps on the previous track. BWG is driving pretty well. This is closer than our previous run here, with Uno only 0.3 of a second ahead on lap 1. So Uno's playing on the North American version NTSC, so it's gonna look like it plays faster. BWG is playing on the European version, the PAL version, which runs a bit slower, so we're doing a conversion rate of 1.2024. Otherwise, both drivers still driving pretty well. BWG is going to take a safe shroom on lap 2. After lap 1 was a little bit more of a struggle. Uno's just playing his normal tactics. It's like, okay, this is a one try, let's go. Let's just do it. No, not as many safe tricks on his part. Very nice lap by Uno there. Uno has the lead, I think, probably going into lap 3, but we'll see how BWG finishes. I would totally be down for doing like a one-try league match with only shortcuts. That'd be kind of fun, to be honest. I would totally be down for doing something like that. I don't think I'd win, but it'd be fun, right? Uno with a very nice shroom slide. He's been really getting those. Because a bonk could cost you big time. He's made all 6 of them on Warrior Stadium today. BWG getting a mini turbo before that jump is actually very interesting. I've never hit a weather tanko in my life. Not that I've tried that many times. So we're heading towards the finish in this match. Uno just driving mostly like a madman today. A little slower on this track, but still very good at a 346, which converted is a 431.74. Waiting for BWG to finish on PAL here. I think he's still within reach, but I think Uno is ahead after that amazing lap 2. Oh, and we have a winner in Uno. What a match. BWG drove well. Uno drove just out of his mind today. Congrats to Uno for winning the division here. Incredible play. Uno with the 4-0. Uno's just playing it like... I don't know what to say. He was just impressive today. Just like very few major mistakes. Just very few. He's going to take the win. Got some nice one-try league action. First starting with me versus Trouble Clef, and then this match. But we're heading into the final week. Incredible play. Again, BWG, look at those laps by him. Not slow laps. Pretty consistent laps. In fact, a little more consistent in a sense in terms of timing, but you get one lap like that lap 2 from Uno, and Uno just had spurts like that. Thanks for watching. I don't know if either driver is going to continue driving. I think BWG's done. So we've got a lot of matches in the one-try league, including another match between Matthias and Dan. That will be an exciting for the Division 1 championship. Always a blast for them to go against each other. The best time trialers in the world doing one-tries. All right, that's it from me today. Thank you for watching. I'll probably jump back several hours later, probably do some Pokemon Silver. But for now, thanks. See you later.